everyone, it's Melinda, and today we're going to be looking at my Smoky Quartz collection. I have quite a few because it is lovely and plentiful here in Ontario. It's certainly something we can collect on all of my tours. So I can't wait to show you. My very first addition to my collection was actually a purchased piece, and it's probably one of my most impressive ones. Does have some red and yellow iron inclusions that are actually within the crystal. You can see it's not just like a coating on top, so that's really interesting. I find that fascinating. And you can see some of the natural crystal faces and even some pieces that were going up into the point as well. And I find that really neat. Some more faces down here, so could have potentially been like a double terminated one, but it is all broken and rough. Still, I really love those sides. You can see some of that red iron inside there. Gorgeous piece. Stunning. Cool, so most of us are familiar with Smoky Quartz. So it's a colored variety of crystalline quartz. It ranges from a light yellowish brown to a brown that is dark, sometimes so dark that it appears black. There's also slightly less desirable specimens that are more of like a grayish or a grayish brown. And when cut as a gem, stones with an orangish brown to a reddish brown are the more preferred by people and tend to be a little bit more expensive. Yeah. Oops, let's do it this way. Alright, and that's actually it for my purchased pieces. I do have a little Seer stone that was purchased, but I'll save that for last. So I think I'm going to start showing you, some of the beautiful specimens that we have right here in Ontario and that we can collect on my tours. So this collection over here is what I'll start with. It's from Quartsville, Ontario, and it's Smoky Quartz in white and sometimes pink Clevelandite, which is like a type of feldspar. And you're also going to see some other little inclusions of black tourmaline, squirrel tourmaline, so that's really cool. My big one over here is really fascinating. Some of the Smoky Quartz, like up here, is more cloudy, but then as we travel over on this side, we can see it's quite clear and gemmy in spots. And you can see the beautiful platy white Clevelandite. Really gorgeous coming out of this location, and I'll be including that in my video about feldspar in the future. But yeah, isn't that lovely? Let's see if I can get underneath. It's heavy. Oof. There we go. Quite chunky under there. So cool. Let's see if I can get close. There we go. Awesome. From the same location. And here we can see bits of the black tourmaline or squirrel tourmaline. And you can even see where it's been chipped away, that the structure of the tourmaline, that striated structure, see down here, has been kind of molded into the quartz through its formation. So that is really fascinating to me. I just love that. And again, we can see the nice shiny platy white Clevelandite around here. There would have been a black tourmaline crystal here. So cool. Oh, love it. I love that sliced up look of Clevelandite. It's so cool. Yeah. There we go. There we are. A little bit darker smoky quartz, but again from that same location. Very cool. Here's another. Nice kind of brownish, clear, dark crystals underneath here. Really cool. Look how dark in there, eh? So cool. And you can see that fracturing that is so common in quartz. Very cool. And last little piece from that location. Nice feldspar here. Almost looks like a little chunk, a little cube of smoky quartz there. Too cool. Fascinating. I can hear my Maverick cat having a bath behind me. So if you're hearing licking sounds, that's Maverick. Oh man, it's nothing like pets, I tell ya. Alright, so I think moving on now. Continuing with that same location, but just with chunks that are without as much of the matrix involved. I think I'll show you some dark ones. So again, these are from Quartsville, Ontario. Very accessible, very fun day, and we do it on a couple of my tours. So yeah, look how nice and dark. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Also a nice dark one. So smoky quartz is a relatively inexpensive gem material because it is abundant, found in many locations, and its brown color is not currently in really high demand. It is often found in large crystals of excellent transparency with few inclusions. A little bit lighter, not as transparent. There we go. A little darker one. I love when you see little rainbows in them. And of course, that's just due to the fracturing of the material. Oh, it's gorgeous. This one's much lighter. So pretty. Definitely some Cleveland light on this one. And then it goes from light to so dark. This here is the black tourmaline, but the smoky quartz right here beside it is so dark. Oh, it's just too cool. And then another little light one. It's got a little inclusion in it that I find fascinating right in the middle. I don't know if it's a little chlorite or oxide, manganese oxide maybe, or a little chloride. Or who knows. But I just think it's charming. I like it. Alright. Another little piece from a different location in Ontario, from the Norland, Ontario location. And you can literally find this stuff on the side of the highway. It's super cool and abundant. Definitely a little bit more of a browner look to the specimen. Alright, so moving back to Quartsville, there's also a fairly renowned rose quartz quarry that also has a lot of beautiful smoky quartz in it. So I'll show you a couple pieces. Here's a lighter one. They tend to be a lot more translucent at this location compared to at the previous one. Really beautiful quality quartz. Gorgeous. And then a darker one. And it definitely has that more brownish, you can see in the translucent areas, that's more of a brownish smoky quartz. Ah, oh, just love it. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So what produces that gorgeous color? That color is actually created when natural radiation emitted from the surrounding rock activates color centers around aluminum impurities that are found, within the crystalline quartz, within its structure. So that might sound similar to amethyst, and that's because amethyst forms in a very similar way. Its purple color is from the activation of color centers around iron impurities rather than aluminum when it comes to smoky quartz. So that's very, very cool. And sometimes you can see smoky quartz along with amethyst. However, I'm going to get into purple smoky quartz a little later and talk about why we should differentiate between that and amethyst. But yeah, gorgeous. So from that same, lovely rose quartz quarry that we have here in Ontario, also as part of one of my tours, you can find these gorgeous specimens like these that are partially smoky and partially rose. So in a piece like this, what causes its color would be two different things. So the smoky part of it would be produced from that natural radiation that's emitted from the rock around it. And again, that radiation activates color centers around aluminum impurities within the crystal. So that is taking place inside there, took place when it grew. And what's causing it to be pink is actually what causes rose quartz to be pink. And for hundreds of years throughout history, it was believed that the pink coloring of rose quartz was due to manganese or iron. But it turns out with more modern testing that teeny tiny microscopic needles of pink dumortierite, which is a mineral in its own right, so little pink needles at the microscopic level of the mineral dumortierite are contained within the quartz, and that's what's actually giving it that beautiful pink color. Super fascinating. I did a whole video on rose quartz. If you're interested, you can just look back and give it a watch. Really fascinating. Gave me a whole new appreciation for rose quartz. All right. So, what other locations? So, Bancroft had a location that was very, very famous for having gorgeous quality, all sorts of quartzes, but smoky quartz in particular. However, it's not open to the public anymore, which is kind of a bummer, but I'm definitely excited to show you my specimens. So these would be more the light colored smoky quartz from this area. And I love how there is a lot of iron oxides at this location. Absolutely gorgeous tangerine, you know, kind of inclusions. And the smoky quartz, beautiful. Nice rainbow inside this fracture here. Very glossy, very translucent, really nice quality quartz. And I can see all the way through to the other side in this spot. How neat is that? Ah, too cool. All right, from that same location, another light one. Again, really nice translucency, really nice quality quartz at this place. Such a bummer we can't go there. Beautiful. Nice little rainbow up here. Sparklies. I love it. And then what it is better known for is the nice dark glossy stuff. Ooh, nice big rainbows down here. Isn't that gorgeous? So smoky quartz is often faceted or cut into beads and cabochons, and the gems are often used in rings, pendants, necklaces, earrings, and brooches. It really is a very popular mineral for jewelry. Wow, a lot of gorgeous rainbows going on in there right now. Wow, beautiful pinks and blues and greens and yellows. Wow, that's so pretty. Oh, I can't get enough of crystals. So as early as the 12th century, flat pieces of smoky quartz were used in China to make eyeglasses. Oh, that just blows me away. Some of these were used to shield the eyes from bright light, and a few were also worn by judges during court proceedings to hide their facial expressions. Super neat. So radioactive mineral deposits in many parts of the world are associated with smoky quartz. Especially very, very dark smoky quartz. So, as I said before, it is like the radioactive levels of the rocks surrounding the quartz that activates those aluminum impurities and makes the rock dark, a dark color, smoky color. So when there is really high levels of radiation, the darkness is, you know, up to level. It is much, much darker. And so at this location where I'm showing you, I just can't get enough of this rainbow one, but I should put it down now. Here's another really, really nice dark one. There were possibly still are a lot of radioactive minerals known at this location, so it makes sense that the quartz would be this beautiful, nice, rich brown, dark brown, absolutely gorgeous. Lots of iron on the other side. I like to leave my rocks as is. I don't bathe them in chemicals. Not a fan of that. A brush and water. That's all for me. Gorgeous. Yeah, so the darker specimens just means that they were, you know, surrounded by a higher level of radioactivity. So neat. All right. What do we have left? Okay, so this really big piece is from somewhere in Ontario. I don't know the exact location. Really nice big hunk. Lovely. This one is also from Ontario, and again, I don't know the specific spot, but very, very dark smoky quartz. Look how crazy black that quartz is. When I first picked it out of the earth, I thought this was something totally like a black amphibole or something, and it turned out to be extremely dark smoky quartz. Ooh, that's fun. And then oftentimes you'll see quartz with mica inclusions or just being grown around mica, and this location had kind of like a greenish golden muscovite mica. It's just a nice little layer on top of this smoky quartz chunk. See? Nice little inclusions in there. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I can hear a plane going by. It's different. And then this one is from Sudbury, Ontario. And it has like a golden muscovite sprinkling included on it. So pretty. A lot of quartz in Sudbury. Beautiful. Let's see if I can get closer. Awesome. So, like I said previously, I want to talk about purpley colored smoky quartz. So this specimen here is from the outskirts of Sudbury, Ontario. I'm hoping in the video you can clearly see it's not your average Joe smoky quartz color. It's definitely got a pinky purpley kind of color inside there. Some people, and I've seen this in forums, unfortunately will find a big hunk like this, and just because it's got the slightest tinge of purple, they'll call it amethyst. Unfortunately, this is not amethyst. It's smoky quartz, and I would assume the pinkish color is due to inclusions of iron. The feldspar that you can see it's on is a very iron-rich feldspar. You can tell by that color. Certainly a lot of iron going on here, and so it makes sense that there would be some a little bit mixed in with the smoky quartz, giving it kind of that different shade. So I would not consider this amethyst. And some people will argue forever and ever about that, but you know what? You do you. I personally do not consider that amethyst. Similarly, this kind of purple smoky quartz from Wanup, Ontario. Again, you can see it's certainly not the typical brownish, grayish smoky quartz. It's certainly got some purple notes in there. And again, some people might be, you know, just wishing they could call this amethyst, but I absolutely would not. So I think a couple things are going on here. First of all, at this location, there is known to have tiny little blue aquamarine crystals, which I do have some specimens of. And you can see little bits here, a little tall one here, and then another one here in the crack. Just tiny rough little ones. And you could also see iron staining going on throughout. Also what looks to be like chlorite, maybe a little bit more on the bluer side than the typical like mossy green, but still all of those things all combined being present within the crystal is probably what's giving this smoky quartz a different vibe, a more purpley vibe, rather than it being actual amethyst. Because remember, for it to be amethyst, nearby radiation would have had to activate color centers around its iron impurities. So, like I said, there is a lot of iron present, but within the actual chemistry of the crystal, or is it just impurities kind of within the cracks, stained throughout? I don't know. I personally would not say this is enough of a purple color to be amethyst. But then again, you're welcome to disagree. And here's another one from that location. And again, you can see that kind of like aqua blue chlorite, or I don't know what that is really. Chrysocolla, some sort of copper leaching or something? I have no idea, but I'm assuming that and these like splashes of iron oxides is what's giving this a little bit more of a purpley hue. But still, in my opinion, very much smoky quartz. Cool. And there we go. And I think the last one is my Seer stone. I showed them all? I think so. Alright. So here is my Smoky Quartz Seer stone. Ooh, nice rainbows in there. Ah, just love it. Alright, so generally Seer stones are quartz, amethyst, rose quartz, or smoky quartz, and mine is, as you can see, smoky quartz. These are naturally tumbled in streams flowing out from a mountainside. The Emu River in Brazil is one of the most famous for finding these. So sellers will purchase them naturally as is with this tumbled look, and then we'll slice a part of the stone off and polish it, polish like a cut face, as you can see here. So that the interior beauty of the crystal can be seen, and it's kind of like, I guess sometimes this would be referred to as windowed, so that you can see the inside of the crystal. Isn't that gorgeous? So the reason why they're called Seer stones, and again, this is just, you know, a fun nickname. You're welcome to say that that's just like a bunch of hooey. It's just, you know, river tumbled smoky quartz, but I personally like the nickname. I think it's really cool. So it's called a Seer stone, or at least that nickname is given to it, because it was used during quiet meditation while staring into the stone. It was also used for scrying purposes, and that has been going on for a very, very long time, for hundreds of years, and it was accepted across many spiritual paths. So looking into crystals and kind of letting your imagination go has been something that, you know, has been going on forever. So whether you believe in magic or not, on a psychological level, these have also been studied, and psychologists believe that these visions that we're seeing within the stones, within the structure of the stone, and again, it's not like an actual image like watching TV, it's just seeing little symbols within the, you know, internal fractures and rainbows and things. Generally, I like to do it in candlelight, because that really helps you see different images. So psychologists believe that these images that we see are just the subconscious mind, and of course that makes sense. So we're focusing on the stone, and that just gives us an opportunity for the intangible parts of our mind to receive some focus. And again, I personally use it just to like check in with myself and see if there's anything that I, you know, could be working on. Maybe there's a part of my life that I'm neglecting and I just, you know, I don't really want to face that. So sometimes when we meditate with like a tool like this, it just helps us bring those kinds of thoughts forward, or maybe it inspires some sort of, you know, goal or action in life that's going to help us physically, mentally, however, in our lives. So again, it's not as whimsical as it maybe seems. It's just a tool to help meditate, or to help kind of focus in on your internal thoughts. And yeah, I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. Anyways, regardless, it is a gorgeous piece of smoky quartz, and I love that it's been river tumbled. It's a very unique look. Yeah, and you don't see these as often as you used to, or at least I haven't. So I'm very happy to have mine. Alright folks, there are all of my Smoky Quartz specimens, so many different specimens. Hopefully someday you can, come along on one of my tours and collect some yourself if you haven't already done so. Yeah, I hope you found that interesting. I sure did. Thanks for stopping by, guys. See you next time.